Was it you that turned the television on?
Oh, no!
Movie stars, military servicemen and mystery await the most haunted team in Hollywood. Hello and welcome to Most Haunted USA. Name a movie star from yesteryear and chances are that they will have walked these floors or drank at this bar. But is celluloid our only means to see such heroes walk and talk, or do they haunt a very special part of Tinseltown? And that is why I brought you to the Hollywood American Legion. Set right amongst Hollywood's film sets and studios is a place that the stars of stage and screen often called a second home. The American Legion was completed in 1929 and attracted military servicemen as well as politicians and film stars who were eager to relax away from the public domain. Monroe, Bogart and Gable are just a few of the many icons who came here, and the regular apparitions that greet people today seem to suggest that some have chosen to stay. One particular Legionnaire is thought to still roam the home that he had for 30 years. But following Marshall Wyatt's tragic fall and death on these stairs in 2000, that is far from the end of his story.
For scores of years, this place has also been home to some of Hollywood's superstars, and there seems to have been an affiliation between military and film stars, superstars, ever since.
Once filled with Hollywood's silver screen elite, from Humphrey Bogart and Clark Gable to Marilyn Monroe and Ginger Rogers, this theatre is now host to a lonely phantom that sits at the back of the auditorium and applauds actors while they're rehearsing in this overwhelming place. There are many strange occurrences here in the library. Loud bangs and shuffling of feet are often heard, along with dark shadows. It's thought that the ghost of Marshall makes his presence known here and refuses to leave.
The amount of ghosts that I'm told are here, probably about 4. But nobody really seems to know who they are. Strange, because when Terry first came to this building many years ago, he's the custodian, he and his wife-to-be were staying downstairs.
And it was very late at night, and of course we'd stayed up late and had quite a bit to drink. We went out to dinner earlier, then came back, and we were still awake in the room, and all of a sudden she heard some kind of noise, and she said, "Terry," she said, "what's that?" And I said, "What's what?" She said, "I hear something." And of course, as soon as I burst out, the laughter stopped, just like that. And so it, was one of those things where the hair goes up on the back of your neck. And, Jane, she was totally freaked out. I went back to Marshall again. And I said, "Marshall, were you up last night?" And he said, "No." I said, "Do you have a girl in the building?" He said, "Terry," he said, "I'm 83 years old." He said, "I wish I had a girlfriend in the building." And I said, "Well, Jane and I heard somebody running around in the atrium and heard laughter and somebody was chasing her." And he said, "No," he said, "don't worry about it." He said, "It's just, the people." He said, "They're hanging out." He said, "I hear doors and laughter and conversation." He said, half a dozen times. He said, "Don't worry about it." He said, "They're all Caspers." He said, "They're all friendly ghosts." Marshall, who unfortunately has passed away, was the person who had told me about all of the stuff that he had experienced, and he was here 33 years. And but I often feel, and have also always felt, that Marshall is still here. He died right here in the building, on the stairs. In the back, he fell and hit his head. And I was the person who found him, and I talked to him for about 20 minutes. So anyway, I think Marshall is here, and I've, almost every night when I leave, I say goodnight to Marshall. And I'm not the only one who feels like he's still here too. Other people have told me the same thing. And so anyway, Marshall's hanging around where he used to live.
Some of the great movie stars of yesteryear would come here and drink. Some of them would even reserve seats at the bar. So could they have returned and be causing many of the apparitions that are seen throughout all of this area? And what's causing the tables and chairs to move all on their own? We have 24 hours to find out.
Nowadays, the Legion is still a social base, although visitors are also drawn by occasional concerts, as well as the building's museum. But despite the temptation to become starstruck, Kieran O'Keefe is one man intent on remaining level-headed. And the parapsychologist does feel that Hollywood's American Legion holds more than meets the eye.
Here we are, Kieran. To me, this is absolutely fantastic. It's the pinnacle of us being here because all the Hollywood legends have actually sat at this bar. Marilyn Monroe,
Clark Gable,
Clark
for instance.
Gable, yeah.
You could be sitting in Marilyn Monroe's seat and I could be sitting in Clark Gable's seat.
I know.
Fantastic.
Isn't it great?
Absolutely fantastic.
So what are we going to do here tonight to try, hopefully, and capture some ghosts, some apparitions, hopefully, some paranormal activity?
Well, the fascinating thing about this place is a lot of the testimonies are actually associated with people that work here. So it would have been the janitor, the cleaner, those sort of people. But in addition, because we know about the history of the place, because of the Hollywood legends, because of the association with the Legion, there are a lot of other spirits around. So hopefully the mediums will pick up on people like Clark Gable and others that would have drank here and actually had fun here.
For me, I would feel a little bit silly. I think I would probably laugh, you know, if we started communicating with Marilyn Monroe, Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah, it would seem quite fantastical. However, you've got to remember, there is a lot of emotion associated with this place. These Hollywood legends would have come here, they would have had reserved places, they would have drank here, had a lot of fun, and there would be a lot of positive emotion. By the same token, there also might be quite negative emotion, especially if they would have drank here during the war years, for example. And remember, we're in Hollywood. These are the big characters, the well-known people of the area. It is no different from communicating with kings and queens, for example, or well-known generals back in England. We're dealing with the same sort of people.
So are we dealing with more than just masters of disguise? Will some stars' off-screen personas be those that we encounter tonight? With mediums Derek Okora and David Wells also joining us on this intriguing investigation, we immediately head into the building's theatre and begin our discovery of who may haunt Hollywood's American Legion.
I mean, we look towards this stage here now, and just as an example, take the curtains away, and then suddenly people here looking up to like a big screen, and it's as if they're enjoying what they're seeing, and they're taking part in it, and it's like someone's sitting here or over there or here, and suddenly they see themselves up on the screen. Funny that, isn't it? And it's like, wow, you know. There was also a tinge of anger by people who frequented this place, the people who were placed in positions of importance, and they were fighting, in their estimation, fighting a battle against something that they didn't like going on here in this town area.
What, so in Hollywood they didn't like what was going on?
No, I feel this must have been associated with, silence, the movies, we're talking, never take off, it'll never happen. And you're fighting this battle.
Right.
As far as activities concerned with spirit people, individuals, I don't feel, maybe I'm totally wrong, but I don't feel as if this particular area, this big hall, has a individual spirit person inaction, active at times. I don't feel that.
Okay.
This is mostly residual, and it's like saying if people were out there through them doors, I don't feel they would see anything here.
Okay. So it's not sort of active?
No.
Okay.
It's not.
Right.
In other words, there's no spirit person coming in here that I can pick up on, and Sam's not even giving me anything mentally that way.
Well, let's go to somewhere where hopefully there is some activity. Yeah.
Despite finding residual energies in the auditorium, Derek feels that no one is actually grounded in here. But could the same be said behind the scenes? Is Hollywood a home to only austere astrals, and are we about to encounter a mischievous spirit?
Marshall says it's him that's moved the ball.
He hasn't moved it, he's dropped it on the floor.
Most Haunted's American adventure continues with 24 hours amidst the film sets of Hollywood, and in a building that was once a playground to military servicemen and movie stars. As we venture further along the ground floor, Derek is drawn towards the bar and pool room, an area known to have hosted so many of Hollywood's heroes and heroines.
Sanity sits there. Sanity sits there. Comes here. By that doorway. Okay. If he would be seen walking through, he would be seen like what? He'd throw the cape across like this. You're going to laugh at this. You're just going to laugh at it, okay? But he's not grounded here, is he? This is he is a very famous person that comes here. If Sam's back in it as well. Now, I'm not saying that this spirit person is present right now, because I'm not saying that. But it appears, and he does move about this room, more so here than anywhere, even out there. But it gives me the impression of Rudolph Valentino.
All right, the silent movie star.
And who else? Say it again. And in here, can I just tell you what he's just said here? In there, with the glasses, okay, is... I don't know whether they were friends, I don't know. But he said very clearly, Buster. Buster comes here. Buster. And I said, Buster who? He said, Buster Keaton. Buster Keaton. When they would move about and just, like, go to the impression, of sitting down like this, someone come through, walk, and they walk past, he would probably do this.
Oh, right.
And they would get this shrill that they wouldn't know what was going on. And I feel the feeling would be they'd bolt through the door, get out the way.
Yeah.
Again, I get with these two a jovial, happy feeling of being here.
Rudolph Valentino, who died 3 years before this building was completed, often had front row tickets to boxing shows at another Legion in town. So despite this anomaly, there's no doubt that a certain amount of mystique still surrounds this 76-year-old Legion. And interestingly, David Wells had immediately felt spiritually drawn towards the Legion's main staircase. Little did the psychic initially realise just how meaningful this area would prove.
Can I just stop you a minute? Sorry. There's someone really pestering me, a man really pestering me. Now, as soon as I came into the building earlier today, he was around the top. You know, there's like a gallery.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really fully switched on, so I just kind of like ignored it and sort of left it at that. But I'm really conscious of someone falling down these stairs, someone tripping down these stairs. I don't mean tripping down the stairs, I mean, you know,
Right.
down the stairs. And I think it may be him, an older man. Kind of like a caretaker or I don't know, they call them janitors.
Janitor, they'd call it here.
Yeah, someone who looked after the place and loved the place. And there is a great deal of sadness. And I think what's interesting about this one, it's very recent. Normally when we say the turn of the century, we're talking 1900s, but I'm talking 1999, 2000. I'm talking this recent. And there's a great deal of sadness around it. A sadness around any passing, of course, but maybe because it's so raw, it's only, 4 or 5 years after the event. I'm just kind of, what I'm seeing now is the vision of him lying there, and he's twisted. It's almost like I don't know if he's punctured a lung or something, there's blood around it in his mouth. He's fading in consciousness. But I'm trying to lift him, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to get beyond it. I'm trying to lift it so I can get a direct link with him, as opposed to what I'm seeing event-wise. I don't think I'm going to get it here, because I don't think this is his favourite place because of the event that went on. I think it's exactly the same man that I saw upstairs.
Right.
What man upstairs?
On the way in, when I first came in.
Oh, right.
I think it's the same man. But because of the trauma attached to this spot or around this area, I think he's going to be lighter if we go further up.
So are you saying he had an accident here and survived, or he had an accident and died?
He definitely died. He's crossed. And yeah, an accident. I don't see any hands. I don't feel pushed. Nothing like that. It seems purely an accident. But you know what he's given me, or certainly someone's given me, is the words, "When it's your time, it's your time."
Right.
And it was kind of almost like that. Like he would have said, "When it's your time, it's your time."
Mm-hmm.
You know, he would be that philosophical about it.
Okay. And is he here in the building? Does he haunt the building?
I think he does. Yeah, I think this is the guy that
You
I saw earlier, and I'm sure that as we go round, he'll become clearer. But it was just here I can sense the trauma of it.
David's sensory description of a recent fatality on these stairs describes the tragic circumstances in which bar manager Marshall Wyatt lost his life in 2000. His final moments were spent being comforted by his friend Terry Duddy before the long-serving Legionnaire passed over in the place where he had worked and lived for several decades. We moved on from this poignant place to an area that David identifies as being far more pleasant.
This seems lighter to me, not quite so difficult to handle as what I saw. And I have a male figure here, and he seems really happy. He's whistling, and he's not just whistling as in a happy tune. He's got his whole being in it. He wakes up in the morning, gets out of bed, and it's like, go to work, fantastic, Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? It's a real kind of like, if you like, embodies everything that's right about the place. And I wouldn't say he was particularly, I wouldn't say he was ill, but, he's no spring chicken.
He's an elderly chap.
Yeah, he's an elderly man.
Is this the same man that you
There's
picked
two
up
of
with the stairs?
The one that's whistling is.
Oh, right.
There's two of them, though. There's another one that's slightly quieter. I would think more the doer. One's the, if you like, the face of, hi, how are you? Or yeah, I can do that for you, no problem. And the other one's more of a background fixer. I've got the name Marshall. Can I just tell, this guy has just said to me, and it's quite difficult because it's a bit emotional, can you tell Terry I'm fine? Terry's the guy that, isn't he?
That owns the place, yeah.
Tell Terry I'm fine, and to keep on doing what he has to do. And that might mean something to him, but keep on doing what he has to do.
Oh, we'll tell him that.
I don't know what that means to him.
You should tell him that
Okay.
when you see him. That'll mean a lot, I should imagine.
It now appears that despite this building's star-studded past, the austere air of one recent and remarkable astral still holds the Legion in high regard. And the man who held Marshall Wyatt during his final moments was keen to confirm just what it was that his friend wanted him to do here. So, having switched our cameras into night vision, we invite Terry and our US location manager Sarah to join us in a séance in the library. And under the psychic and protective guidance of David, we begin to resolve just what Marshall expects from his fellow Legionnaire.
Hello, Marshall. My name is Yvette.
Hello, my name is Kath.
Hello, my name is Carl.
Terry, do you want to say?
Marshall Wyatt. Yeah, it's okay, guys.
Hi, Marshall. I'm Sarah.
And I'm David.
Oh my gosh.
That tap.
Okay, Sarah?
Hand sore.
Your head is sore.
Hand.
Your
Your
hand.
hand.
Yeah. It's okay, sorry.
You're right. Do you want to start? Who's tapping then?
No one's tapping.
I just heard
I
three
just heard
taps.
3 taps. There it is
And again.
again.
And again.
There it is.
Can you hear it?
I can hear it.
Yeah.
I can feel it as well.
Yeah.
Marshall, we all know that you're here for a great deal of time and you love this building. And this building clearly loved you. I ask you, with the greatest respect, please try to show yourself to us. Whether it be a light anomaly,
That was 2 bangs. I heard that. And again. And again.
Again.
Marshall. Is it Marshall Wyatt? Is that his surname? Yeah. Marshall Wyatt.
What was that?
That was the bang saying
Yes. Marshall Wyatt, please can you knock again if you can hear my voice?
I heard that.
If you can see your good friend Terry, please try and talk to us. Please use all our energies now around this table in this room to talk to us. We just want to know that you're fine, that you're okay, you're happy. Thank you. Could you please try and knock louder for us so we can definitely hear you? Thank you.
Marshall. What Chris said earlier about the thing that I need to do here at the post.
You mean David?
David.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, David.
That's okay.
I think I understand what he meant. And I think I know what I have to do, what needs to be done for the good of the post, for the good of the veterans. But, hey, Marshall, if you're really there and you want me to do what I plan on doing, then, hey, you can let me know by tap. Well, I'm going to do it anyway, so. Sorry.
Do you feel that their energies are really close?
Oh yeah, definitely. Particularly Marshall just keeps laughing.
Does he?
Yeah.
Why is he laughing?
Don't know. I guess he thinks it's funny.
He laughed.
Yeah.
He laughed all. He was like me, laughing all the time.
All right. He thinks it's funny. I think.
What, us sitting around the table in the dark going, are you there?
He would definitely think that was funny. I really would.
With Terry present, we all felt relaxed within this environment, and the responses that coincided with our questions to Marshall were soon our main topic of debate. But would anything else leave us amazed at who may haunt Hollywood's American Legion?
Not me, because I'm just touching the top of it.
television has just made a noise.
I've got it.
This is Hollywood's American Legion, and our night vigils in a building that once served both the military and the movies have so far pointed to just one particular active astral. A series of sounds have already been heard spread around the library, an area where the Legion's former resident bar manager, Marshall Wyatt, lovingly spent so much of his time. Along with Marshall's friend Terry and our US-based researcher Anthony, the majority of our crew decide to reconvene in the downstairs bar, which left Kieran and both Johns to concentrate on the library and watch as Derek appears to sense a blast from this building's illustrious past.
I've just had a mental picture placed by my guide of your face. Are you Jimmy Durant? Snozzle Durant? That is the picture that's just been placed in front of me by my guide Sam. If it is you, Jimmy, please can you give us an indication to confirm it's you? Anything you want to do? Jimmy Durant. What's that?
What is that noise?
Do you hear that noise?
Yeah.
It's like a...
Sounded like something being dragged to me.
Mm.
No, did it sound more like a voice?
What's that?
Just had something go across the screen.
What?
You had saw something.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Something, it was like a...
Lighting on with it.
Yeah, well,
Oh, not a...
it's worth playing back. It's 5:44.
Are there any astral beings here? Any spirit people here in this room with us now? What's up, Stu?
Something else is just gone across again at 6:22.
Okay. Please, the television is on in the corner. If you can try and use your energy to try and make the television turn off.
Oh my goodness me. Oh.
Someone not leaned on there.
Remote controls over
Where is
there.
the remote?
Over there. Got it. That was really scary.
Oh no, that's
Right, shh, everyone be quiet.
That was awesome, that.
Well, that was really interesting. That was very interesting.
Whoosh, what? Oh my goodness me.
I just got a cool, like, breeze right across the top of my lips underneath my nose. Very, very strongly. Can you do that again for me, please? I don't understand what they're doing with that, but could you do it again?
Do you want to go off into one of the other rooms?
Could be an idea, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will the television, after it's been on for so many minutes, will it go off on its own?
Of course not. No.
It's
It
just
just
turned,
has done.
turn
It's
itself.
itself off.
You're kidding.
No,
No,
not.
and we've just heard noises from the office.
Well, the television could not turn its
Well,
switch.
it
It did. It just went off.
And how did it come back on?
No.
We put it back on.
You're kidding.
No.
Well, that's a technological impossibility.
Fair
Okay.
I mean, unless the power went out in the building, and if the power went out, it wouldn't come back on.
No.
And
No.
everything else would go out too.
That's
Honestly,
not-
turn off on its own.
Shh. Did you hear that? I just heard a bang, like a deep boom.
Any spirit person, if you want to make that effort, we're open now as that vessel for the transfiguration. Come on, put your effort in. No change whatsoever.
No.
There is somebody here in the room. Please try. Please come forward. Please use our energies now. Please push the glass. Please try.
That was that.
What was that? Please push the glass. Please try.
The hell was that?
Marshall, is there anybody you wish to talk to? Push the glass towards anybody you wish to talk to. No, I swear. We promise you we would never do that.
Okay.
Okay. Marshall, can you see us? If you can you do a definite push of the glass? If you can see us. Good. Marshall, did you turn the television off earlier? Push the glass for a yes. Was it you that turned the television off? Oh, no! Wow!
Yes! Wow! Thank God.
Did you get it?
Just.
I hope you notice I've come away from over there. I'm not
Hellfire! Oh,
Marshall, you're a wonder.
All right.
Push the glass for a yes. Was it you that turned the television off?
oh no!
Wow!
Yes!
Marshall, could you push the glass back towards Terry, please? Push the glass back towards Terry.
Oh, shit.
Go on, keep pushing it past Marshall. Go on, please, sweetie. Thank you very much. Marshall, now I want you to... Shh.
What the hell's that?
What is that?
Calm down. It's okay, it's water. Marshall, is that you that's making... Thank you, Marshall. Thank you very much. Yes.
The tap's running.
Where?
No.
Give me a call.
It is.
No.
It is. It's running.
Marshall, now I want you to... Shh.
What the hell's that?
What is that?
Calm down. It's okay, it's water. Marshall, can you still hear me? Marshall, push the glass if you can still hear me. Hello, sweetheart.
Boy, that's weird.
What is it?
It's the ice machine.
Well, hang on, that wasn't...
Yeah, but I've never heard it make that noise before.
Where's the water coming from?
Sorry.
Is there water coming out of it then?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm certainly perplexed into that because that TV turning off when we were doing this was amazing. You are doing that.
Oh, TV again.
I've got it. I've got it on. Got it.
Well done, fabulous, Marshall. It's amazing. Marshall, can you make the glass off the table and onto the floor? Can you do that?
I don't want it to. I don't want a broken glass on the table. Marshall, don't do that.
Don't do that.
That's an order. You wouldn't let me do it. I'm not gonna let you do it. We were doing this was amazing. You are doing that.
Oh, TV again.
I've got it. I've got it on. Got it.
Well done, fabulous, Marshall. Can you switch it back on?
Well, I'll tell you what. If you can do that, it's time for me to cross over.
Marshall, can I ask you a question? Could you please go over to Terry and touch him or make him feel cold? Let him know that you are here. I don't think he quite believes yet that you're here. Push the glass towards Terry and make him feel that you are near him. Can you do that? Can you affect Terry in some way, in a nice way?
Not me, because I'm just touching the top of it.
Television is just running normal.
I've got it. I've got it. I've got it.
Shut up.
Did that come on?
Yes, no way.
Way.
Yeah, Terry, do you believe now? Is it near? You said. What did you say? What did you say out loud, Marshall? If you can do that, it's my time to go over. And I
Well,
said.
I'm sorry. I was kidding.
With one of Marshall's closest friends admitting even his amazement at the reactionary chain of events that have dumbfounded this barroom vigil. We hope for just a little more proof that Hollywood is a home to the paranormal. But how many more shocks were heading our way?
I heard that from in here. What is it?
It sounds like a ball.
This particular district of North Los Angeles may have gained global fame for making and breaking dreams, but most Haunted's crew are becoming increasingly more astonished at events occurring in the city's 76-year-old American Legion. And it does appear that the spirit of a very loyal former Legionnaire is still active within its walls. Along with Carl and Stuart, David was particularly keen to test the energies that exist in the pool room, having heard that this was where the recently departed Marshal Wyatt shared many happy times. This man's friend, Terry, decided to remain with the barroom vigil next door, as both groups simultaneously attempt to encourage yet more poltergeist phenomena. But what else did this marvellous and mischievous man have in store?
Marshall, if you can hear my voice, can you hear me? Move the glass as a sign of yes. Okay. I know. Okay. Marshall, I'm sorry to ask you, but could you try and do something, not just in this room, but in the other room where Carl, David and Stuart are? There's some snooker balls on the some pool balls on the table. Could you try and move them for them? Because they're English and they don't know how to play pool very well. Maybe you could teach them? Maybe you could move the pool glasses, the pool balls for them, please? Could you make the television come back on its own?
That would be a miracle.
Well, so far, Marshall is just the best thing that's ever happened to us.
Yeah, I did as well, yeah. I did, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
someone's just walked right past me like a breeze.
There's a noise over here behind the bar. Okay. Oh, did you hear that? There's a noise over here behind the bar. Marshall, can you move the balls on the pool table? Take some energy from us. Can you do that? Can you do that? And can you do something? Can you show yourself to us?
What was that? What the no,
I
was
heard that from in here. What is it?
No.
What was it? So it was like a ball. There's a ball falling out of... They've not moved, but there's one falling out of here.
I don't know.
There's nothing on the floor.
Can't see anything.
Did you just move a ball, Marshall?
It was like a ball bouncing.
I've got a small torch.
I can't see anything.
If I dropped a snooker ball on the table, on the floor, it sounded like that.
Wasn't a ball, was it? No, it wasn't.
Marshall, did you just move a ball?
See anything?
There.
There!
What's happened?
It's the 8 ball.
Where?
There's an 8 ball on
Where?
the floor.
Me!
It's the 8 ball.
Marshall, was that you that's just moved the ball in the other room? Marshall says it's him that's moved the ball.
He hasn't moved it, he's dropped it on the floor.
Oh,
It's sitting over there, and Stuart is standing with the camera, and it's at the far end. But it's just hit the floor at the far end.
And the 8 is perfectly up, directly up.
You should see it to believe. You should see it.
Can you do that? And can you do something? Can you show yourself to us?
What was that?
what the hell was that? No.
What was it? So it was like a ball.
Ah, no way!
But look at the pink lantern.
Oh my...
And it's the 8 ball. That's kind of a significant ball, isn't it? Now, Stuart,
the 8 ball. It's the last one put in.
yeah, Stuart was standing kind of there with a camera, so you couldn't have done it here. I was sitting here.
I was stood here.
I was sitting here. and
Did you
David
get
was
it on the camera?
No, I just heard the thud.
Oh, you heard it? Oh,
I just heard it. I didn't know what the hell it was.
But it was like it was just a.
Like it
It was
didn't
just, it
roll.
was one thump. What was that?
What the hell was that? No.
What was it? So it was like a ball.
Marshall, are you with us? If you can, please move the glass. You okay?
Oh, yeah.
Marshall, if you're with us, can you move the glass again, please? Okay. Hello, sweetheart. Hope you don't mind me calling you sweetheart, but you are a lovely man.
Oh, he would love it.
Oh, he's a lovely, lovely man. I wish I had met him, because I know I would have just loved him to bits. Marshall, if you can hear my voice, was it you that moved the 8 ball? Did you throw it on the floor? Give me a more definite sign. Did you move the 8 ball? More definite, please. Push the glass much more violent. Was it you who moved the 8 ball? Come on, Marshall. Can you move one of the balls again? Good man. Thank you, Marshall. You're an absolute sweetheart. And when I die, I hope to meet you in heaven. Will you come and meet me? I'd love to meet you.
Won't be anytime soon.
No. Okay, he says he's going to move the ball again. Can you move it for them again? Can you move it for them again?
Oh, hey, for f***'s
I
sake!
heard that.
Did you get it?
What's wrong with it? Oh, hey, for f***'s sake!
Terry, can I ask you, did Marshall ever, you know how some guys, they have a favourite place to sit? Or one place they favour more than others?
You mean in that room?
Yeah.
Marshall would have sat over in the corner by the door going into the pool room, or going into the card room. So
Which
on
is
the
where the
far
ball-
side, they're on the other side of the...
That's where he keeps throwing the ball.
That's where the
To
ball
that
is
chair.
now. Yeah, next to the door.
Yeah, that's
I see
where
it,
he
yeah.
always sat on that side, because he always was
Yeah.
wanted to be close to the poker room.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually throwing the ball in that corner each time.
That's where he played cards. He lived in that room right there.
Paranormal investigations can either frustrate or amaze, and events at Hollywood's American Legion certainly fall into the latter category. Upon our arrival, we immediately set out to erase any hints of the psychology and suggestion that the walls of this building may throw our way. This location also held a very recent story that was to prove crucial, that a former member who is still seen half a decade after he fell and died here. And the significance of Marshall's story grew with every apparent auditory and physical response. But as outsiders, he wasn't just responding to us, but also to Terry, his colleague of many years, and with whom he spent his final moments of life. I wasn't alone in my amazement at some of the evidence collected, but did our parapsychologist witness enough first-hand proof to also acknowledge the American Legion's claims of supernatural activity?
The Most Haunted team investigated the Hollywood American Legion and actually came up with some interesting phenomena. A vigil was conducted downstairs in the cocktail bar area, and an interesting phenomena occurred with a TV switching on and off and on again.
Oh my goodness me.
At some point, it even appeared to react to questioning to spirit.
Was it you that turned the television off?
Now, I have utmost respect for the vigil that was being conducted at that point in time, because they established that the remote control was in the bar area and nobody would have touched it. There is some preliminary research done by psychical researchers to show that, especially with night vision, the actual infrared beams may be affecting TVs in such a way to give the appearance that they go on and off of their own accord.
That was awesome, that was.
Later on in the investigation, a group actually conducted a split vigil. A couple of them were conducting glass pushing in the cocktail bar area, whilst Carl, Stuart and David were in the pool room area. The guys actually reported the pool balls moving. When I say moving, I mean flying off the table.
What the
I heard that from in here. What is it?
No.
What was it? Sounded like a ball.
For me, this is the most amazing paranormal activity ever to be reported, ever to be recorded, and ever to be experienced by anybody involved in spontaneous case research.
Marshall says it's him that's moved the ball.
He hasn't moved it, he's dropped on the floor.
Pool balls moving of their own accord is poltergeist activity, and with 3 witnesses and 3 apparently independent witnesses, you've got some very, very good phenomena.
Hey, for
There you
f***'s sake!
Did you get it?
If there had been other cameras there and they had caught the actual movement of the pool balls, it would have meant that we would have captured the most impressive paranormal phenomena to date. Unfortunately, what we still have is merely eyewitness testimony.
In a city that many dream of reaching, this most haunted investigation has hit upon a deeply touching and affectionate camaraderie. But is it an allegiance that still beats strong from beyond the grave? Until next time, sleep tight.
Now, do you remember Derek screaming and threatening a spirit in the house of detention, or when the barrel rolled towards Stuart in the Green Grape Brewery? Living TV are compiling the top 50 most haunted moments for a special programme this December. To make sure yours is counted, go to livingtv.co.uk and fill in a form by the end of the month.